Well, good evening, everyone. I finally got my video up today. It took almost 23 hours for it to upload. But our rain this morning cleared up, and we're starting off this video with a beautiful sunset. Isn't that gorgeous? Just standing out here watching the sun go down for the first time in a week. Oh, this week we had so many beautiful sunrises, and then cloudy, gloomy, cold and breezy. This is the first beautiful sunset we have. And you see the sun is, oops, trying to get it to zoom in. Dropping below the horizon, about where I said it would. If you look off over here, there's the Big Butte. There's the Big Butte. There's the sun. It's dropping behind that house and behind a cloud. Well, that is a beautiful sight to be able to come out here. It's about 50 degrees. It did warm up a little bit today. Got up in the 50s, about 55, 56 degrees. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 70. I'm gonna try working on my lawn. I got a lot of mowing to do. My neighbor who does my mowing won't be able to get here for another couple of weeks. He's just been so swamped with work. He's a farmer, and this weather has been putting him behind his schedule too. His oldest son, he has two sons still at home. His oldest son home has just been at college, so hasn't been available. His younger son, who's I believe a senior in high school now, and who also does some of my mowing, he's been just after a lot of after-school sports and activities and after-school job, and just nobody's had time to come out and help with me with my mowing. And the first good warm weekends that I normally would have done my own mowing, I did spend working those 2 weekends working on my mother's yard project, getting her raised beds done, which absolutely needed to be done, and they are so nice, and my mom is so excited. She's already trying to figure out what is going to go where, and I know she's going to change her mind several times until she actually buys her starts and gets out there and sticks them in. You know, she's going to be changing her mind a few times, but yeah, for right now, it's beautiful. But oh, so welcome everyone. This is Meg's Little House in the Country. We are having an absolutely gorgeous sunset. Tomorrow I am going to be working very hard in my yard, and I will try to get some video of that, because that's going to be our Sunday morning video, is me getting my yard cleanup done for the first time this spring. It's first weekend in May. Oh boy, I am a whole month behind on my yard work, just mostly because of the weather. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning, and we will enjoy tomorrow morning's sunrise together. Well, good morning, everyone. Got chilly again. Got another light frost on the grass. Glad my baby trees are still in the garage. Give it a second. And there goes a truck. But isn't that a beautiful sunrise? Just like I promised last night, would come out, beautiful sunrise. I found a grape hyacinth growing in my lawn. I'm thinking of digging that up and sticking it in the flower bed. Otherwise they'll get mowed. But good morning. You can hear the birds now. And isn't that a beautiful sunrise? Well, I'm going to show you something before I go back in. I got breakfast cooking, so I got to get back in. When I got home last night, yeah, I got some loads of crushed rock been dumped on this side, about 3 loads. And somebody's going to be coming out later this week to get it spread in my driveway. So yeah, got some loads of crushed rock. At least this side of the driveway is not going to be all mud. They may get the other side done later. Oh, that is such a beautiful sunrise. Well, good morning, and I'm going to get back in. I got breakfast cooking, and we will get going here. I've got a busy day ahead of me today. Lots of work to do outside. Well, good morning, everyone. Sorry to flip you around like that, but thought I'd say hi and good morning, and we are outside and getting ready. I'm Meg, for anybody who's new to my channel, and I've gotten quite a few new subscribers in the last month. I'm Meg. This is my channel, Meg's Little House in the Country. It's just basically, I just put little bits of my life on here. Things that I'm interested in and that I find interesting. My gardening is a big part of my life, especially during the summer, my gardening and my yard work. I also do crafts. I have a little Etsy store, Meg's Craft Corner, where I sell hand crocheted items, and I use my channel to showcase those as well from time to time. I'd like to share my hymns, that are my favorite hymns on the channel. It's been a little while since I've done one, but I do need to get another hymn up. I share them as shorts and reels. Some of the things I love living about the country, out in the country, are the sunrises and sunsets that can be just super amazing out here. So today we're having the first nice day since the first weekend in April, which I spent, if you notice, go back to my past videos from the first of this month, you'll see that I spent the 2 good warm weather weekends helping my mother redo her raised beds and all the pavers underneath of them. It was a big project. It took us several days to complete, and but it's done. She's 82, going on 83. She'll be 83 in July, and this is so much easier. She's had 2 knee replacement surgeries, a hip replacement surgery, and having her raised beds on a very flat paver base will just make it much easier for her to get around. I made sure that the raised beds are all spaced wide enough apart. She can either get her garden cart or her yard wagon, just pull it around in it, which will make it easier for her bringing in soils and plants to plant in her raised beds. She is super excited, and she has changed her mind about which plants are going in which beds several times. I am going to be really looking forward to seeing what she does, and I am going to video what she plants in each bed, because her gardens always turn out amazing every year. She just devotes so much time to it. She's just a wonderful gardener. So let's get back to my garden. And here we are. I thought today I've got a lot to do. I've got mowing to do, a lot of mowing to do. I got to move dirt. I've got to clean out flower beds that are getting way overgrown and never got anything cleaned. I have 3 big loads of crushed gravel out here crushed rock, that sometime this week I've got my neighbor, the one who uses his little tractor to till my garden, and yes, my garden did get tilled this last week. He's going to be, or 2 weeks ago. God, the time goes by so fast, but he got my garden tilled. So come next month, this month actually, it's May already. Dang. Yeah, around middle of May I can put seeds in the ground. The end of May I can put starts in the ground. Memorial Day is plants in the ground. Mother's Day, seeds in the ground. Anyways, I got some rock got delivered yesterday while I was at work, and sometime this week my neighbor's going to be bringing his little tractor and his box blade, and he's going to start spreading this gravel through my driveway. And hopefully it will cease to be a horrible mud pit. But meantime, I've got areas I need to dump some topsoil on, and some of this topsoil has a lot of rock in it, so that's going to be work. But I also got to clean up my raised beds here and get them prepared for planting. I'm going to need to put more dirt. I also have to figure out how I'm going to level this stone. As you can see, it got tipped and pulled away from the other pavers, and it's literally tipped downward. It was just the pressure of the tractor right here in front of the beds pushed the soils down farther. You can see there's a big divot here from where the tractor was sitting. They must have had something here that just pressed down in the soil, and it's pushed this paver has settled down farther than the rest. I'm thinking I may have to dig out the soils from this end of the raised bed to kind of lighten the load here, and maybe I can kind of lift that corner and get that paver resituated and maybe put some rocks under it to hold it up. It needs something under it to lift it up. And then I'm going to need to get more soil. As you can see from last year when I cleaned out the beds, the soils have now settled. And I think I can get about probably 4 bags in each bed and a full bag in that bed. My rose here is doing amazing. My little tree here is starting to leaf out. And today on our project list is cleaning out the strawberry pots and getting more soil in them. They just need more soil. They need to be all the way up to the top. So I got a bag of soil right there. And we're going to start on that. And I picked these things up. They're called flower rockets. As you see, you're just supposed to be able to stick them in a pot. They're very small, so I'm going to put all 3 of them in this pot, and we'll see if they actually sprout. That will be interesting, see what happens with them. But let's get all the weeds and everything there. I got dandelions coming up. I've got all kinds of little weeds and everything coming up in this dirt, and we need to get it all out and get it prepared for planting. So we'll get going on that here. I sped that one up so we could do it real fast. But here, this is what I do next. And I got a tag, got to get my old tags out. But I like to take this. I love this. It's a little hand cultivator Matic. It's got a Matic blade on one end, cultivator on the other. And I just love to, it's really good to just go through. We cultivate. We get the soil on the top just all loosened up. And I can even push more soil. And yes, I'll be putting more soil around my chives. It won't hurt them to get a little more dirt around them. But, all these dead leaves and twigs, that'll be good. They will just get all the winter stuff, since I haven't been able to get out here and do anything due to the only warm weekends we've had since the 1st of March, which was supposed to been, which came in with a huge snowstorm, as you remember. You would have noticed it on my videos. February was warming up nicely, and everybody was looking forward to March being a nice start of our nice warm spring, and instead we got a snowstorm, and it took 2 weeks for all that snow to melt. So, and then when it finally warmed up enough for me to get outside and start working, my mother was very eager to get going on her project, so we did that instead. And then it got cold again. So I'm not too worried about sticks and stuff being in my beds. You know, that will just all decompose. But yeah, just go through and loosen. And then I like the way I can just smooth things out after I loosen them. I just use the flat on the side. And yeah, this just gets everything so nice. Nicely cultivated. Sometimes if there's too many sticks, I'll toss them out, or if the sticks are too big, this will take forever to decompose. Not unlike some of the tiny ones. They won't. They'll go, oh, I missed a tree. I don't need elm trees growing in my raised beds. I got enough of them in my yard. And those ones I planted. Any plant can be a weed if it's not growing where you need it to grow. So, yeah, I'm gonna be trying to dig up a tree today. I got a tree in my flower bed. It's a small sapling, and I would like to plant it elsewhere, but it's gonna get dug up and put in a pot. Last night I went out because they've been trying to do some plowing and grading in my driveway to level it so they can put the rock in, so I don't have 8 inches of clay mud that I'm sinking into in the spring. Some of my horseradish, I got wild horseradish, and some of that got torn up. My little bed got torn up, so I went out and I dug up my horseradish. I got as much of the root as I can, because the horseradish has been growing in a really rocky area that was probably once part of a rocky gravel drive. So it's all rock it was growing in, which meant I wasn't getting great root development. Oh, look at that. Look at that pretty little rock. Yes, I like to collect pretty rocks. That is a nice one. I'm going to take it in and clean it off. That one's going in my pocket. Yep, I'm rock collecting. I rock collect. Got what's left of a tomato from last year, so we'll just dig down and stick that in, and it can finish decomposing. It's probably how I sometimes get volunteer tomatoes. It's the ones that just get worked into the soil every spring, the dead ones, the decomposing tomatoes. And sometimes those seeds are still viable. I wonder if I'll get a volunteer there. We'll see. Anyways, so I got it all dug up last night, and I got it into a pot with lots of soil, watered it really good. So I hope my horseradish will recover. So I really do need to get the horseradish bed done. I'm going to put it on the other front side in front of the other raised beds, just opposite of the rhubarb. So I'll have horseradish on one side, rhubarb on another, and I'm hoping that that will, oh, I got a dead, I can use that for mulch this year. That's going to be used for mulch. But yeah, I've got to, okay, let's see. I'm knocking my soil out of the bed. Not what I want to do, but just want to get it all loosened up here. And evened out. I got way more on this end than I got on this end, so we'll just even out the soil here. We're gonna spread this. I gotta get, yeah, I'm thinking 8. I'll try 8 bags of garden soil and probably get it at Kessler's, and get me 8 more bags. That garden soil I got, it's not very expensive, it's pretty cheap, but it sure did do a good job. Oh, oops, hey look, got a nice healthy earthworm there. Nice and healthy. We'll bury him up, otherwise the birds will come back behind me, and boy, I got so many worms in these beds now that I have to find ways to protect my seedlings sometimes in the spring till they become big plants, because the birds will just, they'll have wild robins and that, they don't care. They'll just come in and tear up my beds looking for the earthworms, and they'll tear up the plants too. Oh, I lost a few plants last year, including most of my cucumbers that I had planted. I had to keep replanting, and then the cucumbers got buried by the zucchini because I didn't have any way to trellis them. So they got buried up by the zucchini, and then I didn't check them as often as I should have, and so yeah, they ended up being kind of a total loss. It was my first year trying to grow cucumbers, and I guess everybody, you know, there's a learning curve for everything. And that taught me a few things I needed about growing cucumbers. But yeah, loosening up the soil on the top here, getting things worked out in, all the dead leaves and stuff. Oh, do we got any more pretty rocks? Okay. Nice, interesting little one. And now picking rocks out of the local rocks around here are so fun. Oh, I really enjoyed looking at the rocks that got dug up in my yard from way deep down where they'd been for thousands of years, and suddenly they're dug up and brought to light, and it's like, wow, old river rock. 8 feet down. Yeah. Tells you a little something about how this place used to be thousands of years ago. What must have been lying on the surface of it's probably a big lake or something, huge river system. And it just deposited tons of gravel and rock, probably a glacier system. Used to be here during the last big ice age. And it just deposited tons of gravel and rock. And now it's all covered up by clay, and then it got covered up by topsoil, and except for now I got clay that should be under topsoil that is on top of the topsoil, and because things kind of get turned topsy-turvy when you're digging trenches in your yard. But hopefully by the end of this year I will have lawn there again and not a big strip of bare dirt. I've got grass seed. That grass seed is gone in the ground. Okay. Well, I think we just about got this. A little scrap of garden cloth there. Yeah. I think I'm going to make use of my hoops this year to protect seedlings from birds by seeing if I can staple some frost cloth over the top. At least somehow I'll need to, or try to get it so I can put it over the top, at least until the plants are big enough. Last year I just put frost cloth over my tires that I had around my zucchinis and the summer squashes, and that worked pretty good, you know. That did work pretty good. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to take a break here and rehydrate, but already you can see the garden beds are looking so much better, and getting all this worked into the soil. But even though this end, like I said, I think the best way is to basically shovel all this dirt to the other end and maybe even into the other beds, I don't know. But I got to lighten the load so I can somehow lift this corner of the raised bed. I got to lift this corner, and then I got to get this all taken care of. Oh, this is nice just to be able to get out here and do this. It is looking good. I wish I could get out and plant now, but we still don't have frost-free nights. At least we got to get to where most of the nighttime temperatures are warmer. But yeah, well, we'll see what we can do. But for right now, I think everything is looking so much better. It almost makes me want to start planting. Okay, we got this done. Project number 1. Now, next thing to do is these strawberries. Okay, I sped that one up too, but I've cleaned up my pots. I'm going to put some dirt in them, and then we'll be back in a second. Alright everybody, I've got the rest of my pots all lined up, and they're ready for me to go get dirt and get my dirt in them. So let's go get dirt and get dirt in them. Well, my neighbor, who I was told would be here Thursday to spread gravel, has shown up today to spread gravel. So he's busy scooping gravel out of the big piles here, and he's currently using his little tractor with the bucket, and he's spreading it down and smoothing it out. my horseradish dug up. Okay, well, my one bag of soil was not enough to get all my planters filled, but I've gotten most of the rest of the gray ones, most of the red ones, or terracotta colored ones, done. I also have, but I got one terracotta and all these green ones still to go. I brought my horseradish over here in its pot. It's kind of looking a little sad. They're a little droopy right now. They really did not like being dug up, but with all this tractor work going on in my driveway, that would have spelt the end of my horseradish, because it was right on the very edge of the driveway, and like I said, I lost a few plants when he came through and graded earlier this week. So yeah, most of this is smoothed out now. There's still a little bit of gravel there that needs to get smoothed out. He's still scooping and dumping gravel and getting around that curve up there, packing it down with the tractor tires and with the blade. But yeah, it's getting done. Whoops. That was my beautiful, lovely patch of lawn with the dandelions blooming. I bet I got bees over there. Anyways, we're getting this done. This is getting done. Hopefully no more mud ruts. Still got to get that little, he's got to finish scooping that, and then I think he'll be done enough that I can take off, go to town, and buy some more dirt. I guess I'm gonna have to get about 10 bags, 9 for the raised beds and another bag to finish these pots. So I will see everybody later.